The Deputy Minister for Tourism, Mr. James has deplored illegal mining activities, popularly called galamsey, along the country's water bodies, which pollutes and causes them to overflow their banks. He has therefore cautioned those engaged in such activity to desist from the practice or face serious sanctions. Mr. Boateng was speaking at the river crossing ceremony as part of this year's Emancipation Day celebrations at Asimpraso North Municipality.
Asimpraso was the gateway to southern Ghana for slaves brought from Mali, Burkina Faso and the northern and Ashanti regions to cross the River Pra, which passes through the town onward to slave markets. The slave corridor stretches from the Pra River crossing through Praso Old Town of Asempaneye, Akomfudi, Asimmanso and the coastal slave castles at Cape Coast and Elmina. Asimpraso has since become an ancestral heritage venue and an integral part of Panafest and the Emancipation Day event. Each year, Africans, both home and from the diaspora, visit the heritage village at Asimpraso to observe the reenactment of the crossing of River Pra by the slaves and the slave masters. This year's theme for the celebrations was Reuniting the African Family, Challenges and Prospects. Unfortunately, due to galamsey activities on the river in the eastern region, the Pra River burst its banks, flooding farmlands and displacing about 500 people in 15 communities in the Asin North municipality. For this reason, this year's ceremony did not get the usual highlights characterizing the reenactment of the river crossing and the rituals at the mass graveyard. Mr. James assured the people that government is committed to observing next year's event, which will mark the 20th anniversary of Panafest and Emancipation Day.
Particularly for our diasporan community, the opportunity to see what Nana, and I mean the chief of Asimpraso and his people today did put up for us to really and to see will register the extent of suffering and inhumanity which was meted out to our people many, many years ago. And we are doing this as a sign of acknowledgement that we realize that this is where you are from and we will always welcome you back with open arms.
In a welcome address, the chief of Asin Jakai and Asimpraso, Nana Oudo Aseku, said internal tourism should be encouraged at the heritage village to keep alive the history and heritage of Panafest. Dr. Garland Hill, on behalf of the diasporans, challenged other Africans in the diaspora to come home and help build the continent.
This historic site must be preserved. Panafest must be preserved. So whatever we have to do, we owe it to the ancestors to make sure that their suffering, their dying, their sacrifice of crossing the river and crossing the oceans and the seas and to continue to have more beatings and more humiliation, that was not in vain.